Well, good morning, folks. Excuse me. My name is Tim Mailer, meteorologist. Hope you're doing well this morning. Today is the 2nd of February, 2026. Not a lot going on for the United States today, with the exception of colder temperatures. You can see some temperatures in Florida are actually colder than the northern high plains this morning, which is a very unusual thing. Um, some snowfall moving through the Chicago area, the Great Lakes. The passage of a frontal system here, it looks like, or a mid-upper level system. And our system is finally exiting up here in the New Brunswick, the Canadian Maritimes. You see the negative single digits up here. The core of the coldest air is up in Minnesota and into the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic. Okay, so quite cold this morning for much of the U.S., with the exception of maybe in the Bahamas, which is in the United States, of course, but most of the U.S. either near or about freezing here, with the exception of the West Coast. So welcome to my video. A little long-winded intro there. Sorry. Um, so now we're past that winter weather event. I appreciate y'all watching today. Like my video if you like it, subscribe, share with your friends, and donate in the comments in the description below if you feel so compelled. I put a lot of time in this video, and I appreciate your support. And let's get started with the current hazards. So here's the current hazards. Not nearly as much on the map as there was last week, right? Um, Generally, we got special weather statements, some cold weather advisories, extreme cold warnings, freeze warning, all the way down into Florida here. Extreme cold warning in eastern Florida. So very cold temperatures. Also in parts of South Carolina and North Carolina, with the winter weather advisories for frozen refreezing of whatever is left over from the snow, causing hazardous travel conditions. See the special weather statements here in these areas. Cold weather advisories hanging on here in the Northeast, which will likely, since it's going to warm up a little bit, these probably won't stay. Yeah, it's going to expire in 6 hours. Special weather statement for cold temperatures and wind chills here in parts of Ohio, and light snow moving through the area in Milwaukee, with a special weather statement, Chicago area. And the northern high plains, this expires. Heavy bands of snow will move through the area, and winter weather advisories as well. And southern Texas, let's see here, special weather statement for fog, maybe freezing fog down here. Okay, so thankfully, in the world of weather, we get a break here. We have some out west here. We have some coastal small craft advisories, things like that. When don't we have that out there? It doesn't seem like that ever goes away. And it looks like a wind gap event here, gusts up to 60 miles per hour in southern Wyoming, Cheyenne area. Let's see, today expires in 5 hours. So those are the hazards right now. So patchy black ice is possible today in areas where we had a fair amount of snow this weekend. Melted snow is refreezing, so wherever it may have frozen on the roadways overnight, you gotta be careful when you go into work this morning. Hazardous road conditions are possible today, especially shaded. There were shaded or shelter areas, bridges and overpasses, especially vulnerable during the morning today, until it warms above freezing here. It's going to be cold this morning, but not as cold as it was yesterday. Here's the expected wind chill values this morning. Generally, lows in the 20s, with wind chills approaching 10 degrees up in Blairsville to near 20 to 25. So this is all related to the air temperature right now. And the patchy black ice, like we talked about, is a concern today as well. So today, warming up some more, staying in the low 40s in North Georgia, high 50s in southern Georgia. Tonight, let's see, late, in the northeast Georgia, of course, it's going to be colder, low 20s to mid to upper 20s in the rest of the state, near 30 in southern Georgia. And high temperatures tomorrow, warming up quite nicely here in middle Georgia, in the low 60s to to the low 50s farther to the north. I think at this point, any lingering snow will be melted at this point. And precip is on the increased chances here as we get into tomorrow evening and afternoon. So currently today, this morning in Middle Georgia at 4:15 in the morning here, it's 25 degrees. Wind's pretty light here, so the wind chills aren't that low. Expect maybe the temperature to fall a few more degrees as we approach sunrise, but still pretty chilly out there, so bundle up this morning. So as far as 15 to 16 days out, what do the trends look like for temperatures for Middle Georgia? So warming up quite nicely for a few days. Um, Tomorrow, right? The lows tomorrow below freezing, right? But then cold front passage with some rainfall will keep minimum temperatures above normal. Then we get below normal temperatures again, right, for a few days. And according to the European model ensembles here, looking to get in the 70s maybe next week. But we'll see how this plays out. But this has been the trend in the several runs now. So I'm going to compare this to the GFS ensemble as well for our area and see what it says also. So this is a GFS ensemble showing the maximum temperatures through the period. So generally pretty similar to the European in the short term. Not averaging as high temperatures in the extended as the European model. So you see the high temperatures here, 50s and 60s, although a lot warmer than this has been. So in the short term, 40s and 50s, and 60s in the extended for highs, 30s and 40s for lows, except the beginning of the period here, and a few days interspersed throughout. So overall trend is warming up quite nicely to above average temperatures towards the end of the period for the south here in Middle Georgia. So this was issued yesterday. This is the probably the last day they're going to update this for the extreme cold. However, this is just the first shot of cold air. So wherever you're at north of this line, you can have sub-zero wind chills. You probably know that already, but you can read this if you want. But this is the latest from the Weather Prediction Center about the severe prolonged extreme cold. And also we have the blast of Arctic air that's forecast to come through the northeast again, the 7th through the 10th. So we're going to have that blast of cold air, right? And, we kind of repeat it one more time here before maybe it warms up on the East Coast. So you can read this as well. Yeah. And the high winds going to lead to extreme wind chills here as well. Well, so when we look at day 3 to 7 U.S. hazards, the only thing on the map here is hazardous cold, the 7th and 8th in February up here in the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, and Midwest. Heavy precip expected or possible here in southern Alaska, and high winds here in North Alaska as well. The 4th through the 7th and the 4th through the 5th. So let's say HRRR show. This goes out 48 hours. I selected a few previous runs here. Some onshore moisture coming here in the Pacific Northwest with some snow in the higher terrain. Some snow up here in the northern high plains. Moisture down to the south. You see this band developing. And this wants to present a little bit heavier mode of snow here in the mid-Atlantic here, and possibly reaching the DC area Tuesday evening. Shears out, and maybe wants to bring it into parts of the mid-Atlantic as well, and maybe the Northeast with some snow showers here, and that's where this ends. And showers, rain showers all the way down to the Gulf Coast, maybe some thunderstorms down here, and some other different little snow showers, maybe some lake effect streamers here, but not a lot going on in the first 48 hours, with the exception of right here in the mid-Atlantic and Appalachians and Ohio Valley. All right, so yep, kind of exciting, guys. So let's look at a shorter range model so we can look at the this up to 84 hours out, right? This initialized 6Z this morning. So the NAM is a nested model, so you have your 12K, 32K, 12K, and then the 3K model, which is 60 hours. So it allows for more regional and close-up analysis here. So from the NAM 12K perspective, we have some maybe moisture on the west coast, maybe some snowfall in the northern high plains, and you see what we got, a low developing in the middle part of the country here, maybe some snowfall in the parts of the Midwest, Ohio Valley. Tomorrow, generally starting tomorrow afternoon, and it looks like it shears out right here, right? And then wants to maybe redevelop another low to the south here. Maybe some snow in the, this may be a little bit underdone in the Appalachians, and rainfall and showers in the southeast, right? And then this just moves out, doesn't do a heck of a lot. So turn into the name 3 kilometer, shows roughly the same thing here. Low pressure developing with some overrunning moisture here, right? And you know, it shows the snowfall in the Appalachians, not heavy by any means, and some showers in the southeast here. So, and maybe some moisture diving down on the east side of the Rockies, but not a huge event by any means here. So, I mean, overall, we got a quiet couple days ahead of us here, and we should enjoy it while we can. This is the RGEM, one of the more Canadian high-resolution models, if I remember correctly. So we got it's also showing the moisture coming on shore to northwest coast. Some snow, potentially some banding here in the northern high plains, and the trough along the east coast, right? Low develops out west here, overrunning precip and snow here, parts of mid-Atlantic, and kind of just fizzles out here. And then wants to develop another low like the other ones do right here in the south. And this overrunning moisture, this has deeper moisture associated with it. And backside, cold air brings maybe some snow to northeast Georgia. Not a lot though, right? But then that clipper system is diving down here, which is going to bring cold air and snow squalls and some Appalachian snow here towards the end of the week. So compared to the last several weeks, the atmosphere has given us a break here, and I want to go over you know, the future. And this AI ensemble. This consists of the European AI and the AIGFS combined to give us this output here. There's a 500 HPA height. The system exiting the east coast. We have another trough beginning to the east here. It's going to bring cold temperatures here to the northeast during this period, and the northwesterly flow continues, right? And we have ridging building out west here a little bit, okay? See the colder temps at the mid-levels lift out, and then maybe some weak ridging building in the southeast. And we have more of a zonal flow going through the rest of the period when we average these two out. So what's it look like at the surface here, precip-wise? Surface, yeah, hold on a minute. So we have some you know, some rain potentially moving in out west here, some northern stream systems moving through. We look at this, right? And we have maybe a shot of snow here in the mid-Atlantic states here, and rain in the southeast. It looks like in the higher terrain and possibly up into Virginia, we could get some snow Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday. It's just more of a grainy output because it combines two different models and averages it out, right? All right, so on the surface, that's what we got. Then we have a stronger clipper type system that may bring some heavy snowfall with northwest flow here and some snow squalls through the area. That's where your cold temps push in. And you have another clipper system, and then maybe northwest flow out west here will bring heavier precip back to the back in play. Then it becomes a little more nebulous here, and I think the models kind of get muddled up when you get further out here. So this is about as far as I'm going to go with this. When you compare the precip and the overall flow pattern here. So what does the GFS show? Well, you know, it's going to be cold to start out with here, right? At the surface. This is a surface map. It wants to develop this wave along this boundary here, but it really doesn't want to do a lot with it. Maybe some snow into the higher terrain here, maybe parts of the mid-Atlantic, and some rain in the southeast, showers here moving through. Maybe wants to redevelop it a little bit here as a trough digs. And then we get this pretty strong clipper system moving through here. You see the pretty strong, the isobar tightly packed here. High winds. We talked about the high winds here, right? high pressure builds in, and then you see the ridging building out west here. You see the ridging, that indicates to me, warmer temps pushing all the way up into the northern high plains, at least according to GFS, right? So let's move this through time a little bit more. This is the 10th of February. It gets highly uncertain here, but you see the pattern, how it's changed, right? The 540 line is way up to the north here. So temps are going to be warming up at least through the period, the end of this model run, right? And you see the 540 lines dipping way down here. So we have a trough on returning to the Southern California coast, at least according to this model, and maybe some enhanced snowfall in the Intermountain West as well. So we'll see how this plays out, but this is so far this model goes, so at least for this run anyway. What's the European show? This is 00Z initialized today. Well, yeah, 00Z, right? Second. It has a similar solution here to the GFS, and they kind of agree on this, right? And maybe it wants to develop this low further to the south here, which is an interesting, if this plays out. It's trending further south, and let's just see. It really doesn't want to do much here. But let's just stop this a few runs here, and we'll see what this does. About the same solution, roughly. So interesting here. So let's go back to 00Z. All right, that moves out. Cold air pushed to the south. Reinforcing cold air with a clipper system moves through. High winds with the isobars tightly packed, and this system really getting cranking off the northeast coastline here with the isobars tightly packed. The winds are going to be howling right here, so wind chills are going to be brutal. All right. And then high pressure, similar to the GFS builds in the middle part of the country. And it's just to the east here, and troughiness out west with warmer temps all the way up into the mid-Atlantic here in parts of the northeast with general troughiness, I hate that word, but that's what it is. And maybe the return of moisture to the west coast here. So looks like a pattern change, at least in the short to midterm, is going to happen here. How long it stays around, I don't think it's going to stay around more than until the mid part of the month. We probably go back to the East Coast, being below normal, but we'll have to see. But anyway, this is the European model's depiction of what's going to happen. So as far as the risk of heavy precip, February 9th through the 15th, 2026, no heavy rainfall or any precip really. Well, no heavy rainfall expected during the period here. No heavy snowfall expected either. Risk of high winds looks like the biggest threat to the period here. A slight risk along the front range of the Rockies, the 9th to the 15th, as well as a slight risk extending down from the northern high plains and mid-Atlantic and all the way up to the northeast and midwest, and the 9th through the 10th here in the northeast of moderate risk here. Temperatures, 9th through the 10th, sorry for the northeast here, high risk below normal temps, surrounded by a moderate risk in the 9th through the 11th, and the 9th through 11th as well, further to the west here, just to the east of the Mississippi, all the way up in the northeast and down to Florida as well. So we're slowly eating away at the cold temperatures to the east here, with the ridging slowly building from the west here. Now ridging will be centered over the Midwest and Central Plains, all the way to the west here. So this is a 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, December through 11, 2026, issued yesterday. As we talked about, below normal temps just to the east of the Mississippi into the Midwest, with warmer than normal temps expected further to the west here. Below to near normal to above in Alaska, and in Hawaii near normal to above, depending on where you're at in Alaskan Island, not Alaskan Islands, Hawaiian Islands, and above in the Aleutian Island chain here. As far as precip, east of the Mississippi, generally expected below normal precip, near normal in the central U.S., extending into the parts of the Mountain West, and then above normal, returning to the west here, northwest, northern high plains, and deep south, into parts of Texas, and trending even higher above here in really far south, extreme southern U.S. Near normal to above in Alaska. Hawaii looking like above normal precip during the period and above normal in the Aleutian Island chain. So, as I said, the 6 to 10 day outlook, see the 8 to 14 day outlook, we have ridging building further to the east here, um, suppressing the cold temperatures even further east. I'm sorry for the northeast and mid-Atlantic, maybe below to near normal, depending where we're at here. Trending close to near above normal in the south, all the way up into the northern high plains, all out west here, and below normal in southern Florida. Alaska, below normal in northern Alaska, near normal in central Alaska, and above in the southern part, southeast, above Hawaii, normal temperatures in Hawaii, and above in Aleutian Island chain. The trend for the precip continues to be wetter out west than it is in the east with this setup. All right, so near normal precip chances generally east of the Mississippi, West Mississippi above normal, and more likely in the southwest part of the country. Below in Florida, below in trending below in northern New England here, right, and above normal in Hawaii, above the near normal in Alaska, and above normal in Aleutian Island chain. So this is your week 3 to 4 temperature outlook. This leads up into, the monthly temperature outlook for February also really turning below normal in general for the northeast, part of the mid-Atlantic, and parts of the southeast, extending northwestward into the Midwest here and parts of the northern high plains. Equal chances are above above or below normal temps here for a good portion of the U.S. with southwest and basically southwestern part of the United States trending above. Alaska equal chances to above to below depending where you're at. Above in Hawaii and above the equal chances in Aleutian Island chain. Precip, we kind of showed this on the monthly outlook, if I remember right, but above normal precip chances right here in the Tennessee Valley and in the Northwest, equal chances in the rest of the country. Alaska equal to above, Hawaii trending above, Aleutian Island chain equal chances throughout this area. And here's your monthly temperature outlook. This was issued a few days ago. Right, it trends back to the way it's been for a lot of the period so far in January. Below normal temps, generally the eastern U.S., the mid-Atlantic looking more likely, with above normal not precip temperatures out west, equal chances in between, and Alaska equal chances to above, depending where you're at in that state. Precip chances during the month of February are expected to be below normal out west into the Central Plains, above in the deep south, southern Texas to the extreme northern part of the country, into the northwest, into the northern high plains. In the southeast, looking Alabama and Georgia, parts of Florida below normal, right? Like I said, the rest of the state, equal chances of above and below normal precip. Talking too fast here. Equal chances to above normal chances, kind of splits the state of Alaska here for precip during the period. So to put this all in perspective, we are going to have a warm up in the eastern U.S. eventually. We'll likely return to cold weather again in the extended, maybe the middle or end of the month, in the end of February, with moisture returning to the west coast and maybe potentially some troughing here as well, and return of moisture to the upper Midwest. And you can see based on the European what we're showing here, and this pattern. We've been locked in with a trough along the east for a long time, so they haven't had the opportunity to get a lot of moisture, with the exception of some lake effect events, right? And the west coast has been bone dry and above normal temp. So we'll see if this pattern actually verifies, but that's what they're showing. Of course, we'll keep you informed every day with updates and try to present the best information possible. Appreciate y'all watching, and God bless.